always takes me a few minutes with the TV. So I thought, well, if I come on early, just a smidgen, then maybe I could set it up and find myself. That way I can read it. How y'all doing? Do you hear the TV? I forget y'all can hear it. I think we've finally gotten the knack of this. We have. Hello, Juliet. Coach, how are you doing tonight? How's your daughter doing? Hey, Nicole. Uh, it's hot here. I hate to say that to you, Nicole, but I'm sweating up. It was 84 here today. I like a nice 70 something. Oh, and Nicole, guess what? He got that solar thing going on the swimming pool. It's still not where I'm gonna get in it. It's got to go a little bit more. Hello, Stinkbug. How you doing?
Hey, Stink.
The thing is, with that, it takes forever for that pump to. Hey, Kim. Good, good. I'm so glad to hear that, Julie. Juliet, I'm not sure. What do you like to be called? Um, I'm glad to hear that though. I'm glad she's doing better, and I'm glad that you're doing well. Mama, Stinkbug said, "Hey,
Hi, Stink.
I'm sorry you had a bad day. I heard you coughing. Was it last night? That's kind of a nasty cough. Oh, I just forgot to
The
say hey to
emergency room
somebody.
sent my friend home with Theraflu
Uh,
over the counter.
Simply Debbie, hello. Theraflu.
Theraflu.
I like Mucinex products. Why are they not showing up on the telephone or the
TV.
TV? How odd. Very odd, isn't it? Normally it shows up on the TV. Lord have mercy. Here I am trying to figure this thing out. Lordy be. So I have not seen a snow angel. I saw the your grandbaby with the puppy. That was adorable. CL, hello. How are you tonight? Uh, so is everybody doing okay? Uh, your grandma got worse. I'm sorry. I
Mm-mm.
My sister's had a pretty bad cough for quite some time now. Oh, mercy. Well, I'm sorry that you got pulled over and detained by the police.
Uh-oh.
I hope everything's all right. I've only ever been pulled over once, and that was for speeding. Nicole, you were Johnny on the spot because I didn't even see that. Oh, you didn't know your tag was expired? Yeah, I realized that I've only got one tag thing in my name anymore. Did you know that? All the rest of them are in my husband's name or your name or Jack's name.
Well, good. Then you don't have to buy
I don't have
tags.
to buy no tags. It's quite nice. I'm like, I saved me some money. Woohoo! Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. We certainly will lift him up. And his family and you, of course. Death is a difficult thing sometimes. Um, Other times it's somewhat of a blessing, but there are times when it just really isn't. I'm still playing with this daggum. Pearlman! Y'all, Pearlman had his first live today. He did really well. I felt kind of bad though because I was the only one really chatting. I know that comes as a shock. Alrighty, stink bug, that works. Um, so with it being so terribly warm, well, I'm sorry, but I can't read if I don't have my glasses on. So the glasses have to kind of stay. I got a bunch of different kinds though. Um, Mama, do you want to come over here where you can see this, or you can go on your phone and look at it?
No, what? You get it up there.
I can't keep fiddling with it. It distracts me. I'm truly not intimidated by very much, to be quite honest. My days of being intimidated are long since gone. And I don't think most people should be
Ho, ho,
intimidated.
ho.
Or am I keeping you up there, old
Something
lady?
is.
Lord have mercy. Oh, I'm trying to always be considerate and nice.
I get up and go, so I
Um,
got up and went.
so okay, it's planting season. And I've been getting the seed catalogs in the mail. Well, I really have only gotten, well, two, I think. But I went to the Lowe's this weekend and I got me some seeds because I love me some seeds. In fact, my husband thinks I have a little bit of a fetish. And that might very well be because, quite
An
honestly,
obsession.
I do have an obsession. Uh, I can't even really eat vegetables right now, and but yet I bought these asparagus beans. Have y'all ever grown these? I have, and they're good, but my dog loves to pick them himself. Both of my dogs did, my last one and this one, and then some lemon balm because lemon balm very good medicinally, and then everybody's got to have some dill, and I love things I can do in a container. And then I got two different kinds, okie hay, of lettuce because I grow lettuce in hanging pots. And so the bunnies don't get it. But then I thought about you when I was at the store, Okie. I got some more. So now I'm going to have three different beds of it. And I'm going to plant these. And then I'm also going to plant some of the seeds and see, what happens there. And then when we went to the Home Depot, because heaven forbid you go to only one big box store over the weekend, I bought my personal favorite, the uh, purple, sweet purple. But I was going to get me a new catalog for this particular company, but I just don't think I'm going to pay $15 for a new one. This one, I love this company, but that's a little pricey for a catalog. And then I got this one in the mail, which has got some really very pretty pictures, lovely pictures. And this one is more like newspaper print, and this one's from last year. But I love it because it has these little bitty gnomes people on them. Isn't that just precious? I like this one. They have things that are more from our region. But I think this year that I'm going to go mostly with flowers. Since we're doing a more carnivore diet, I'm going to stick, hey Lori, with doing the flowers. I like the flowers. And then, of course, a few vegetables for mama, and yeah, carnivore. And then I've done it before and it works well for me, Stink. Um, I know, but when you have some of the issues that I had before, it really does help me. Well, I went to college to be a nutritionist, and so I know quite a bit of it myself. Um, but anyway, the I'm looking forward to it. I've just got to figure out where I want to put what. Okie, you know what I'm talking about because there's certain places that the sunshine versus the shade, and then we're very tropical, so some places drain water better than other places. Uh, so you know, I've got to figure out exactly what's going to work. Well, no, I'm not recommend. I don't recommend nothing for nobody. Everybody's got to do their own thing. Quite honestly, um, yes, I can plant anything I want to right now. Like I said earlier, it was 84 degrees here today. Uh, the chances of a freeze are very, very, very slim. Now it might get cool, but a freeze not necessarily. And even if it's gonna freeze, we can just throw a sheet or something over stuff, and it'll be fine. We don't get anything that's gonna be like freeze for hours and hours. Um, so yeah, the now see, I do love certain vegetables. Lori, I know. And see, I'm jealous of that coolness that y'all have up there. Now, I don't know that I'd like the snow all the time, but oh, we've been trying to figure out a plan for our trips to Ohio this summer. I think maybe Mama, the baby, and I are going to go at one point and meet my daughter. And then my husband, the baby, and I'll go at one point. The problem, we can't all go at one time because somebody's got to stay home and take care of Max. Uh, he would not like a kennel. He would not like it. Not at all. Um, so somebody's got to stay home and take care of that. So I think that we're going to do something like that. We, I think that we'll probably go in June and July. That's just what I'm thinking. Well, thank you, Lola. I believe that's very kind of you. Oh, you're just kind of hanging out at work. My husband came home from work today. He had stopped by the Winn Dixie, which is a grocery store, and gotten meat. And he had he was so funny because he said, they got a lot of other stuff on sale too. I'm like, no, I can't eat the other stuff yet. But do you know that he has already lost 10 pounds? I could just smack him. Honest to God, just smack him. I don't know why. I do know why. It's so much easier for them. Uh, oh, that's fine. People say things, and I know that it doesn't bother me unless they're saying it around little children. I don't like profanity around little children or around old people. Now, my mother's not particularly offended, uh, but yeah, I just don't think it's appropriate. Um, and I don't consider myself old, so but there's that. Uh, so what is anybody okay, I know you're planting just up a storm. I was thinking about because they're decorative, I could plant some sweet potatoes because the plant itself is very decorative. Um, Ohio, you're not old. Please. Um, and if y'all want to pin yourself on here or put yourself on here or what have you, please do so. Because I don't know how. And but yes, promote yourself. That's what we're all here. One big happy family, don't you know? Y'all like the new couch? It's all covered up because the dog will scratch it, so nobody can really actually see the couch. Oh well, I didn't know that. Well, I actually, you know what? I did know that, didn't I? I think you're right. I think 60 is the new 40 because I look at people, well, not all of them, but I look at people that I went to school with, and some of them look pretty rough, and then others look really good, and I'm like, okay, what have they been doing? Because that's what I need to do. I need to buy a vat of whatever it is and just sit in it. But I gotta get a drink. I'm parched. So, what is anybody wanting to plant that they maybe are having a difficult time finding it? Um, okay, so you're 32, stink bug. My daughter's 30. Well, she'll be 31, obviously, this coming year. Hey, Real Outdoor Living, what you making tonight? I'm sure you're busy making something. And tell your daughter they just posted a new uh, update on the space launches. So she can go on, I think it's the NASA site, and look for all of the space launches. Daniel, hey, sweetie. Daniel, I thought it was a hoot that you were testing them things out in your bathtub. It was clever, very clever, but it cracked me up. Oh, you're getting ready. Oh, you know what? I hate getting ready to travel, especially when you go somewhere. It can be an ego boost, can't it? When you see somebody and you go, okay, well, I know I look better than that. Oh, you overdid it, Ohio. Oh dear. Well, I hope you. I don't. Not really, stink bug. Kind of, sort of, but not really. Um, I have been on a joint live before with someone who I consider to be my little brother. Um, Radar's Bush Camp. But as far as me knowing how, he has to walk me through it every time he wants me to do it. But those fishing lures, testing them out, that was just very clever. And I thought, you know what? I better not tell my husband about that because he might try to test them out in my swimming pool. And if he put a hole in my swimming pool, I'd be mad.
I think I'm gonna go to bed.
We
Good night, everybody.
go to bed. Are you feeling poorly?
I'm just tired.
Okay. Mama's going to bed, y'all.
Good night, everybody. Sleep tight. Don't let the
Oh,
bed
I would
bugs
enjoy
bite.
that. I would enjoy that, Ohio. Um, the I don't mind a live. I know Pearlman, you just did your first one.
He did good.
Lori said good night. And hey, Coach said good night. The there's a little bit of a getting used to hearing yourself or even just seeing yourself. Because and Stinkbug said goodnight to his girlfriend. Ohio said goodnight too, Mama. The Now she's gone back there to tell my son goodnight. That she has done this since he was a tiny little baby. She always goes back there and tells him goodnight. And it's funny because if he goes to bed before her, which does not happen very often, he will always come out and tell her good night. Me, I'm left in the wind. They don't care about me. I think that's a very clever idea, Daniel, to test the lures out in actual water before you take them to water because they do move differently. And of course, saltwater ones are going to do it a little bit different. Stinkbug, you have a nice voice.
He's a sexy voice.
Mother said it was a sexy voice, but that's between the two of y'all. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
That's the voice of experience.
Oh, Lord. Y'all, don't listen. Just close your ears up. Old lady talking trash. See? Exactly. Exactly. So, back to what I was saying about the seeds. I've got to get me some more flower seeds, and I'm puzzled as to what kind of flowers I want to grow. I have grown a ton of different kinds of flowers, and I really like the ones. Well, people say that I sound like I'm very well. First of all, they used to think that I sounded like a hick or a very unintelligent person. You're right, Real Outdoor. You're right, but well, see, like for me, it's easier for me to read it off the TV, and for some reason, it's not coming on the TV, so I have to read it on here, and that's a little bit more difficult because I can't keep up as well. But so I'm really kind of perplexed as to what kind of flowers I want to get this year. And I got this ordered. Well, see, that would be a wonderful idea because, Lori had just about a spreadsheet to tell us when different people are on different time frames and stuff. I kind of know Ohio's schedule pretty good. Um, and I get Scott, I get escaping pretty good, but some of I have to write it down when I see it, and then I know Okie had the one scheduled, but now it's going to be tomorrow, which that's fine, uh, but I got to try to remember because sometimes the thing does not notify. Does y'all's notification thing not work sometimes? Because 99% of the time, if I get notified, it's going to be after the fact. It's not going to be while it's going on. It's very annoying. Yes, I know y'all, Real Outdoor, I know y'all are always random. And so I click through and try to find people. We do need a TV guide, just like we used to have. Remember the TV guides? And they were little and you have to, my mama would never buy one. My mama was cheap. She would never buy one. We had to read it out of the paper. And you know where we got the paper? When my neighbor got through with it, he'd let us have it. So yeah, that was back when I was high into horse racing. I was always up on trying to figure out about horse racing. Oh yeah, the TV guides, and they had those crossword puzzles. Did y'all see? Now, some of y'all aren't gonna know what I'm talking about, but the Luke and Laura on General Hospital. Luke died just recently, which I used to watch General Hospital every day after school. In fact, to be honest, I watched General Hospital when I was a wee little child because my mama had a babysitter for us, and she watched General Hospital, and it was black and white. That's how old it was. Yes, I get rurals on Wednesday, and I get, of course, I know y'all on Sunday. Uh, the other day, okay, so I don't watch the soap operas anymore. And my mom's never watched the soap operas, but my grandma did, and so my grandma got us hooked on The Young and the Restless. So the other day we were out and about somewhere, and they had the TV on, and it had The Young and the Restless. It's the same people. Yes, Lord, there are a few soap operas still on. I was flabbergasted. I was like, okay, they still got Victor and Nikki on The Young and the Restless. And I'm like, well, I'll be dogged. I couldn't believe it. Do you remember when Rick Springfield was on the General Hospital? But the mother and I we don't really watch a lot of TV, uh, except for we've been starting to watch, they're not documentaries, they're movies about somebody's real experience. Most of them are set in like World War II. Hey, honey, that's my son. He's gonna go take a shower. He likes to shower in my mother's bathroom other than the shower that's next to his room. Yes, Nicole, you are free to do that. Oh, I know it. I know it. It's just, is it not absolutely hysterical that you get these people that have nothing better to do with their time than be trolls? I could think of 110 things to do other than to troll somebody, to be quite honest. It's just kind of tacky if you want to know the honest truth about it. So, Ohio, are you getting ready for for your next up and coming trip, shall we say, the your bug out weekend. Well, I'm small too, very small actually. I look at I watch it instead of watching TV. I watch stuff on YouTube, and my channel's tiny compared to most people. No, that's true. I will not have you removed. Um, you know, it will my channel will go as it goes. That's just the way it is. Oh no, I too. No, I couldn't like. I did not like that either, Lori. It's funny because I can remember truly coming home from high school to watch that, to watch General Hospital, and then we had to scamper around really fast and clean house because Mama was gonna come home. Mom got off at 5 o'clock, and so she'd get home at 5:30, and that's when I realized I was in the second grade when I realized that there was a rhythm to this, and that we begged her to let us walk home from elementary school, and because we hated going to the daycare thing. Oh, how yours is growing. It's growing steady. It's growing steady. And that's what you want. You don't want this like overnight sensation unless you've got something that's just, out there that just really pops, because you want people to stick with you. You don't want people to you don't want to be a flash in the wind type thing. Um, but so we talked Mom into letting us walk home from school. And I figured out real early, like if I started supper, we could eat a whole lot earlier in you know, our dinner. And so she had bought me this cookbook. Yes, I do. Uh, but that would be this cookbook that Mama bought me. It was a little yellow cookbook, and I cooked stuff out of it and everything. I try. I love your daily report. Um, and then the thing with the little tiny cookbook, that I cooked everything that was in that cookbook. Well, then my parents got a divorce, and so the house got broken up and everything. And the thing is, I lost the cookbook. The cookbook was gone. I don't know what happened to the cookbook. Well, flash forward probably 30 years. And my mother is a huge thrift shop person. And you know what happened? She found that cookbook. And we know it was that cookbook because I had written my little practice cursive handwriting in that cookbook. And so she bought it, and it is in my dining room right now. I treasure that little cookbook. Can you believe that it showed back up in our lives? I love it when stuff does that. It's just kind of. Now, I look at the little cookbook now and I think, oh, good Lord, I would never. Uh, does my mother drive? Yeah, my mother drives. She drives a lot. She had to go to the eye doctor today. Um, she was complaining because they dilated her eyes. I thought, oh Lord, maybe I should have driven her. But she's very independent. Mother is extremely independent. That's why, she wants to go up and see my daughter and will fly. And I don't want her to do that by herself. The Doomsday Report is excellent. I think the cookbook showed up because I showed it, of course, to my granddaughter. And she thought that it was really funny that we had lost the cookbook for so long. it does. I mean, it's very simplistic. You know, I think I think one of the first things I ever made was it's a form of a shepherd's pie. Um, and so she and I will make it at some point. She loves to cook. I love to cook with children because it teaches on so many different skills. Um, Math being one, but the fact that certain things have to have help to rise, and you know uh, temperatures, like you can't get oil particularly hot, like so just certain things that I love, fractions exactly, um and that certain things, stink bug. I too have some old family heirloom, I call them, cookbooks that were my grandmother's and my great grandmother's, which means they're really old. Um, they are priceless treasures, and Lori, you're exactly right. The thing is, I don't, again, and I've got some that are from different churches that were like my husband's family's churches, um, that his grandmother put stuff in. Oh, I would love to see pictures of it. And then I've got some that my grandmother put, how churches put together little cookbooks and stuff, or the garden club or something like that. And so I have those that have people in my family or dear friends that have submitted, and they're in there. And I keep those because to me it's kind of, it's a little bit of them. I know that sounds kind of silly. And someday, who knows, I might want to put together a cookbook. You never know. I do like to cook. I don't cook a whole lot right now. Oh yeah. No, they don't play around with kitchen stuff. And uh the my family's Baptist. And you go to a Baptist something something where you're supposed to bring a covered dish. Ooh, girl. Mm-mm. And the pies and the cakes and the, oh mercy, it can be overwhelming. It truly can. And our family reunions are like that. Well, yeah, we I grew up stink bug in a Baptist church. Every time the doors were open, my mama had us there. I don't know if it was so that it would entertain us or to get rid of us, or it was because she felt like we needed the Holy Spirit. I'm not sure. And mom still goes to the Baptist church. I don't go to church as often as she does, but yeah. I do not remember your last name, but you you could always text it to me. Um, but anyway, so do y'all have a favorite family recipe? Something that, you know, it's not something just you cooked and came up with, but it was something like we've got this nut. I don't know exactly what you call it. It's a cake, and it's got pecans in it, or pecans. And my aunt Ellen used to make it, and my aunt Ellen was actually my grandmother's sister. Um, Adam's pound cake. Okay, I do like. I tell you what, we do like a good pound cake around here. Now, my son, that's his favorite cake, is pound cake. Um, but my aunt Ellen's cake that she used to make it every year for the family reunion, and people would patiently wait for that cake to get there and for her to take that topper off of it. All the little ladies had the little Tupperware with the plastic that you close up on the sides, the Tupperware ones. Now I have one, but it's not Tupperware. It's like Walmart. But them Tupperware ones were handy. Well, sometimes I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. Stinkbug just said sometimes our phone calls he forgets half of it. I understand that. I understand that completely. My friend Amy, who passed away, she called me every single night before she went to bed, And I mean, this is like for 40 years. Um, Even when I lived long distance and it wasn't the cheap rate long distance you had to pay, she called me every night. And I do miss that. May forget them. Oh, well, yeah. Well, you know, oh, she was Italian. I have a friend of mine whose mother is very Italian. And that woman surely could cook. Whew. I have a chicken and noodle recipe, and uh, I have to say it is excellent, and it's great when you have a cold. It's really good when you have a cold. Hey, son,
Hello.
you don't come over here and say hey?
No.
No? All
Do you
right.
have Willow and Buddy?
No, I do not.
Do you know where they are?
I do not know where they are. There's the bag, though. They might be in the bag. No, the bag. I don't know where the bag is.
We'll have to clarify that because technically tomorrow's the last day for it.
Yeah. We're talking about them little elves. You know, they're supposed to go away at Christmas, but we told her that they would go away the day after we got her back. I should do that, shouldn't I? My mama loves soup, all kinds of soup. Hello, Scott, and welcome. Now, oh, do y'all have like a main course? Because that's my thing. And do you have a way to cook salmon that you really, really like? Because we're trying to eat more salmon and more fish. And I have a hard time with certain types of fish because I can't eat them fried. I'm used to fried fish. Oh, okay, I can say hello to her. I'd be more than happy to say hello to your grandma, Stink Bug. Is she there yet? I can say hello and I hope she's feeling better. And maybe you ought to make her some chicken soup, Stink Bug. Mm-hmm. Even a can of Campbell's is better than nothing. There are some medicinal effects for chicken soup. Honest to goodness. And there's, if you add some like turmeric and things like that into your chicken soup, it makes it like a powerhouse for knocking out a cold. It really does. And it's not, I make potato soup. Mama loves potato soup. I always add some kind of meat, like bacon or ham or something into it, and some cheese into my potato soups. My grandbaby likes that broccoli cheese soup. I do put bacon, Mike, into the soup. Okay, I'll check my email when I get off here. As you know, Nicole, I don't check my email very often, unfortunately. I should, I know, but I'm lazy. Okay, so you was just saying hey to Debbie. I couldn't read that fast. That's all right. I've never put mushroom in it. But I bet if I omitted the bacon and put the mushroom, then it would be vegan. I could make it vegan. And my daughter would eat it. If I'm ever around her to cook again. Okay, Mike, I'll take a look at that. Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad, Nicole, because, you know, like I said, I don't look at it very often. Okay, do you use fresh tomatoes or do you use like a puree? I have used fresh tomatoes when we get bumper crops of fresh tomatoes. Yeah, Ohio, that bacon jam, before we decided to go back on our way of eating to be healthier for us personally, Um, and the thing is, the bacon jam, oh my lord, it's delicious. And I did it on some brie. Oh, it was divine. It was absolutely divine. The bacon jam, it's it's not hard, is it, Ohio? It's not hard at all. Um, in fact, it's basically you just cook bacon, and add a buttload of sugar to it, and cook it down, and you leave the grease and everything in there. Uh, and you add onion, cooked onion, and I tend to do the onion in a separate skillet and then combine it all together and cook it some more. And it makes a bacon jam. Of course, you can it, but I generally just put it in the refrigerator and we go through it fast enough that it doesn't matter. It is amazing. Um, it is really good on a hamburger. Uh, it's good on. It got to 84 here today, Scott. I was sweating up. I was like, dog, you got to get in the house. Oh, what a treasure that is, Stink Bug. I love old recipes. And they usually say lard or Crisco. Oh, yeah, Coach, anything with bacon. I love bacon. And uh, now my husband rather have ham, but I like bacon. Yeah, well, I tell you what, Scott and I don't live that far apart. And the simple truth of it is, like right now, it's beautiful. But you get here in July and August, it's it's horrid. The it's so hot. It's just so hot, and we've always got humidity. We never don't have humidity. We've always got humidity, and in the hot months, you can get a day where literally you walk out the door and you're just covered in sweat. Well, go get yourself a boiled egg or something, Juliet. You go get yourself a little meat stick or, oh, I don't know, some kind of something, something. You're right, Scott. It's a wet heat. I can't take. Ohio lived in Las Vegas, and he had that dry heat. And that dry heat just kind of dries me all out, my sinuses, my throat, to the point of where I can't hardly speak. I'm so used to a wet, you know, it is. It's wet. Um, I tried to make divinity one time. Actually, I've tried more than once. You can't do it. You just cannot do it here. Uh, Now, my grandmother could do it in North Florida on a low humidity day, but we don't have what I would call a low humidity day here. Well, I know you don't like the winters, but Reba loves the winters there, Ohio. Well, the now do y'all, Nicole, with your wood stove, do y'all put like a kettle of water or something? I know when we're in Ohio, I don't like to run the heater. I know, but we have to because it's cold, and I will put a kettle on because I need that humidity. I just have to have it. Hey, full throttle. Um, and it does help me with you know. See, yeah, I would have to have a big old pot of water boiling all the time. That I mean, when I was in Las Vegas, I had to. You said you were going to make cordon bleu, Pearlman. Did it turn out nice? The I had to take a shower all the time to get the humidity in my lungs. It was horrible. I guess you get used to it, but Okay, you made cordon bleu, bread, and fettuccine Alfredo today? Whew, and a first live. Pearlman, you were busy. You were very busy. My people were lucky they got anything. Well, actually, I love a good pound cake, stink bug. I did make beef tips. Do put some pictures of it on your page. Um, Stink Bug's always putting pictures of food on his. I did put a little mini thing short about my beef tips today, and once they got completely browned up and they actually turned out pretty tasty. The But my husband did the pork chops on the grill. He basically cooks most of our meat on the grill. Like last night they had barbecue chicken. Tonight we had the pork chops. So tomorrow night we'll probably have some kind of steak. Well, see, yeah, I think that's an old stink bug. I think that's an old tradition with cook stoves and stuff to get some humidity into that you just put a pot of water. Or I want to say one of my grandmothers, hey Robin, had a cast iron kettle, and that's what she used. But boy, I bet that thing got hot. I mean, I have a little white, teapot type thing. But I had to take the whistler out of it. But then you got to make sure you don't let it boil out, cause ooh, it's not a lot more stinky than that. Other than like if you let water boil out of boiled eggs, it can get real stinky. Yeah, you have to and if you're going to try to make bread, um, you have to have a certain amount of humidity. Yes, the Dutch oven. I love my Dutch oven, but you know what? They're heavy. I have noticed that my I've got to start doing some like weights or something, because some of my skillets and stuff have just gotten to the point where they're so heavy. And so I've got to get better about that, because I've got a lot of cast iron and I love my cast iron. Good night, Mike. Thank you so much. Yeah, my husband gets up at 4:30, so I feel you. Sweet dreams, and thank you for coming by. The I love my cast iron. The not, I shouldn't say the flexibility, but it is the flexibility of the types of cooking that you can do with cast iron, plus the health benefits of using cast iron. I'm never ever using Teflon again, uh ever. No, it's not gonna happen. I don't use my microwave, um and I have a gas stove, and our air fryer is not gas, it's electric. But yeah, so I thank you, Nicole. That's very kind of you. The But I love my cast iron. Oh, I banana bread. My sister loves banana bread. I have a microwave, and my mother will use it, and but I don't do the microwave at all. In fact, I had seen a study that was done. I'm not sure where I saw it. Saving Grace, thank you very much for coming by. Um, and they had boiled water, and oh, I love popcorn. They had boiled water and let it cool, and then watered plants with that water, and it killed all the plants. So right there was like, I don't know about that. Plus, just if you ever have somebody that's got cancer and you go to those cancer hospitals, they'll tell you that you've got to stop with the microwave. Now, see, I don't do pop. We've never done popcorn in the microwave. I've always done popcorn on the stove top in a big old skillet. Um, and then I like butter on my popcorn and salt, and Mama just likes salt on hers, and the baby likes butter on hers. My husband's not a big popcorn person. Well, there are so many. It's not that hard to heat up food. I mean, it really isn't. Um, and now my son, my husband, and my daughter all use the microwave. But I do not. So, you know, I'll be the only one still standing. I live in Florida. I am from Florida. V, you're on your new channel. Are you on your new channel or is it the old one? Oh no, honey, you're fine. You've got a family you got to tend to. Okay, you're in Arkansas. There's a lovely lady that I watch, Rita's Roost, and she's in Arkansas. Well, I didn't rely on the study. What I did was I actually did the water myself and did the plant. I did the experiment myself to see what would happen, and it did indeed kill the plant. So, did you find out that you didn't get one for sure, or they just haven't done it yet, Perlman, with the elk tag? Okay, V, I see. That's your new one. Oh yeah, I totally agree. They've got to do more than one study for sure. Um, I'm just saying for my own personal health, I don't like to use the microwave. And oh, maybe you were. Oh, okay. I see what you mean, Perlman. Well, I'm sorry you didn't get it. Are you still gonna go out there and do some kind of something, something, or are you just gonna save up and try again next year? The I cook bacon in a skillet. My husband cooks bacon in the air fryer. Um, one of the things with the microwave is that when I've had a number of people in my life who have had cancer, and all of them have gone to various fancy, very fancy cancer hospitals, and every one of them said stop using the microwave. So, and then I saw that other study, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try it, um, and see, what happens. Okay, that's a good idea, Perlman. He texted me just a little while ago. Radar did. He was on his way back. Yeah. So, um, oh V, they're just sometimes don't they just irritate the stew out of you? I we could definitely do that. The I have seen so many different people saying things about YouTube and what is allowed, what's not allowed, and this and that and this and that. And I think it's kind of a roll of a dice, to be quite honest, because they, yeah, exactly. You're exactly, and when you see certain people and they're just, and you're going, why is this being allowed? Um, but then other things that are similar, uh, are allowed or not allowed. It makes no sense to me. I don't know who's the judge, who's the one up there figuring all this out. Is what I, or if it's just a computer figuring it out for them. That's probably it. Have fun in nature. I'm doing excellent today. How are you doing? Oh, yeah. That's kind of what I thought. And V's channel is only a few hours old now. That's her new channel. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. So, y'all know that the next holiday, um, the next holiday is Valentine's Day, which I have to say is not one of my high points. You know what I mean? It's kind of a made up holiday. Oh, okay, you're from Russia. Well, welcome. It must be the middle of the night over there. The Borg. That's funny. I understand you don't. I understand you're not trying to be rude. Oh mercy. Okay, so you got 11 time zones. Oh Lord, I thought it was bad here in the United States. The um, the thing to me is with the time zones. I wish they'd just put us, kind of put us all on the same thing. I know they can't. I understand that. But wouldn't it make life simpler? I know when I lived at Dover Air Force Base and I did a lot of stuff with the Red Cross, it was very difficult to get in my head, because when they would tell me that somebody was coming in from, say, Germany, or somebody was coming in from Iraq or wherever they were coming in. And I had to do the math in my head to figure out what time they were leaving there and come. Ay, ay, ay. Also, I didn't know that. I did not know that China did that. But see, don't it make sense? It does kind of make sense. Oh, yeah, when you travel, I know when we travel, it is so difficult for me to think ahead and think, and the jet lag. Stinkbug, you're fine. You're fine. See, I'm always trying to figure out, okay, am I disturbing someone? Like, say, Matthew, who lives in Idaho, or my cousin who lives in New Mexico. I have to think about their time frame. Yeah. I would guess that they must all be, Glenn, on Beijing time then. I know I sent my cousin a text one time, and then when I realized that, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning there, I felt really bad. Um, yeah, see, and that's the thing. I don't want to wake somebody up, and I don't want to disturb them when they're sleeping, but sometimes you just forget. Plain and simple, you just forget. Now, is all of Canada on one time zone, or are they split up? I've never asked myself that question. Oh, okay, Glenn, I understand. Have any of y'all been to Hawaii? Okay, so you are all split up. The Yeah, my mama would have called me any old time she wanted to, no matter what time zone I was in Ohio. She just would have picked up the phone and called me. Now, it was funny way back in the day. I mean, we're talking way back. Um, my mom every Sunday she would call my grandmother, and they had a set time. I don't know remember what time it was. Say 7 o'clock, and they would call each other and they would chat for a little bit because we lived here and my grandmother lived in North Florida at same time zone. But it was like a date, every single. But that's back when you had to pay for it. Oh yeah, it's a long flight to get to Hawaii. It takes us 2 hours to get to Ohio. Sometimes 2.5, depending on if the wind's not blowing quite right. And sometimes an hour and a half. Depends on the wind. 7 time zones in Canada? Oh Lord. I think mamas just sometimes don't they just want to talk to their youngin, and so they pick up the phone and call them. And that's just the way they are. I try not to be that way, but I've never lived. Have I ever lived out of the time zone? I think I've never lived out of the time zone of my mother. In fact, now this is going to sound really weird, but I have lived with my mother longer than I've lived with anybody in the world. But we did that on purpose. It was a very purposeful thing. And it's worked out for us. Not all people can live in a multi-generational home, but we make it work. Have fun in nature. It was meant to be. Um, it was beneficial in many ways for each one of us. Um, no, stink bug, you're not mean. Well, there are some people's mamas I couldn't live with either. And I'm sure there are certain people who would not want to live with me. I mean, my own husband tells me sometimes I'm bossy. I'm not bossy. I just know what's right. Ever so, well, I quite honestly, I don't really have to take care of my mother, but at this point, uh, unless she gets sick or something like that. And in the future, we've got a plan of what to do and everything. And I do feel like I have a responsibility to be there for her, as she's always been there for me and for my children, and now for her great grandchild and my grandchild. Have fun. I would love to see you here more often. Yeah, did you see her video, Ohio? She's so precious. Okay, so we talked about like her getting her own channel, and the thing is I would have to take care of it all. No, I don't really decorate for Valentine's Day. Well, you don't have to worry about that stink bug. Um, Ducky, I did have. How are those dogs? I did have a nice day. I don't decorate for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. Now, my sister does for St. Patrick's Day because her husband is very, very Irish. Oh, good. I'm glad they're doing well. They're very cute. Um, but I tell you what, if Ohio ever needs somebody to take care of that sweet little Reba, I'm here. What was I talking about? Oh, Mama, and the videos. So, but we decided that she would just do stuff on my channel, and that's fine with me. Um, well, of course, everybody loves Reba. Oh, she's a precious little thing. She's adorable. In fact, I thought about her big time the other day. I was driving home, and there was one of them. The guy was walking her, and I was like, "Oh, I should snatch that little dog up and take it home with me." We'd have Reba a playmate. So, I'm almost to the end of the Long Winter, Laura Ingalls Wilder, reading that. So I've been trying to figure out what else to read next. So we decided, Mama helped me pick it out. She has a couple of authors that she's really, really, really likes. Oh, honey, my dog's done gone to bed. And so I think this is gonna be the next book. Mama met her. I sent her on a retreat one time to the Biltmore House with her sister, and the author was Ann B. Ross, was one of the speakers, and so they got to have lunch with her and just bonded really, really well. And Miss Ross has written quite a few books. They're all basically set in the South. Hey, Joy, how you doing? And are you feeling any better, honey? I could pick up Reba. I would be more than happy to pick up Reba. Um, but I think this is going to be it because Mama said she'd like to read some of it too. So I think that's going to be the next one. Oh, well, thank you very much. My hair is kind of, it's got a mind of its own. I've stopped, I don't color my hair. This is just what God gave me. I'm sorry that you've been ill. I tell you what, it's kind of gone around. Thank you, baby Jesus. We haven't gotten it, but it has been going around. So I think Mama's gonna be showing up a little bit more frequently. I'm trying to get her to write a few things down and recollections about her childhood, my grandmother's childhood, and so on. My mother's now the oldest one in our family, and we come from a very, very large family. Um, and so I keep telling her I've got to capture the information from her because there's nobody else to get it from, you know. And I think she struggles with that a little bit. Well, Stinkbug, Mama's done gone to bed. She was tired. She was tuckered out. That trip to the eye doctor today, and she went to the grocery store, and she went to the Dollar Tree. She was on the go today. Okay, that'd be fine. That'd be lovely. Stinkbug, that'd be lovely. So, I do want her to. We're supposed to go to a family reunion, and they had to move it, and now it's going to be in March, and we can't go to the date that they're having it. And uh, you're fine. And she's never missed one. And I think the first one was in 1968, maybe, and she's never missed one. And it was it broke my heart a little bit, to be honest, that she didn't really want to go this year. And I know why. She doesn't want to go because because she's the oldest for one, but her last living aunt passed away last year. And so the people that she really had a deep connection to, her sister, the aunt, these people, they've passed away now. And so she's still got two brothers, but that's different. The people who are, shall I say, the core of her childhood are gone because she's older than her brothers, obviously, if she's the oldest one in the family. Um, but she's doing pretty good with it, you know. She says she don't want to go, and I keep saying I'll take you if you want to go, because I won't let her go that far by herself. Um, but we'll see. We'll see if she changes her mind. If she does, I'm gonna take y'all to the family reunion. It'll be a hoot and a half. Believe me. You think I have an accent? I have nothing. Yes, I do like flavored waters. In fact, now I don't do any of the ones right now. I don't do any of the ones that have any artificial sweeteners. I'm not doing any artificial sweeteners. So it's like the bubbly, I think is the name of it, and it has a bunch of different flavors. And I right now I'm doing a it's a Redmond's hydration type drink. I'm doing that. I'm doing the lemon lime one that one right now. Um and my husband just ordered a whole bunch of different flavors because he said he gets too bored with just one flavor. But I'm so proud of him. He hasn't had a soda since the second. Now, people, this is big. This is huge. This man doesn't drink anything but soda. So this is huge. Oh, Nicole Labrador puppies. My favorites. I wonder what color they'll be. Oh, you must keep me up to date. I want pictures, pictures, pictures. Videos, puppies. I love puppies. Okay, Glenn, those sound good. I drink just water too. Oh, those little miniature dachshunds, the little speckledy ones, are adorable. I love dogs, but now some dogs are just definitely cuter than other dogs. And now I'm not going to slam on nobody's dog because, to each their own. But those are, yeah. Yeah, see, Ohio. Oh, Reba would be jealous. Okay. Well, yeah, when Max was born, there were all three colors in his litter. Oh, that would be too sweet. You get that one. You could get it for Valentine's Day. Okay, the Arnold Palmer. Yeah, I you know I just I like lemonade too, and with the lemon trees in the backyard, and I do like tea. Oh, bless your heart, thank you. You know, when we were looking to get another Labrador Retriever, um, dogs can be expensive. Um, and I mean, like they were have the prices they had them here were ridiculous. Were just ridiculous. Oh, okay. Also they're all still family. That's sweet. I do like honey in my tea. I like honey in my hot tea for our tea parties. We do honey. Um, but I drove all the way to almost to Georgia to get Max, and he rode on my mama's lap all the way home. I think that's one of the reasons why he still likes to sit in her chair. They kind of bonded. Oh, that's nice. You've got some puppy rescues. We've got the Humane Society, and they're not very friendly, our Humane Society. And then we've got a place called Halo, and they are a rescue, and they're a no-kill rescue. Um, and they do a lot of good work. Now, CL has kitty cats. Do you have a dog, CL? My our kitty cat, Freya, she in there with my son. Let's see here. Max is 3 years old. Yeah. Yeah, he's 3 years old. He'll be 4 years old in November. So yeah. I think that when certain breeds, uh people kind of just go bonkers with thinking that they gon' get. I saw one that they wanted $23,000 for a dog. $23,000 for a puppy. No, no, that's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Not me, anyway. Well, Nicole, I can understand that people would, because if they know you, they know you're a softie and gonna take in those. Um, yeah, I have a friend of mine who pays about $3,000 every time they get a puppy. They pay about $3,000 for it. I do not. That is not going to happen. Um, I want a healthy dog, but I don't need fancy papers, you know. Now my sister's dog, they got for free because the guy that had her, uh, his son was supposed to have the dog, and he wouldn't take care of the dog. So, and he's a police officer, and he said, "Well, I told you if you're not going to take care of the dog, I'm going to give it away." And so he called my neighbor, who's an animal control officer, and said, do you have anybody that might want this dog? And it just so happened that my sister was at that time looking for a dog. And so she's the chocolate lab. And so it has worked out fabulously because that dog loves to run, loves to get in their pond. And my sister is one of those people who walks every day religiously. And she does her 12,000 steps a day or what have you. And so they walk the property out there. And that dog just runs around willy nilly and loves it. My dog does not do that. My dog lays down and goes to sleep or wallers in some kind of nasty smelling stuff and then wants to come back in the house. Not gonna happen. And he doesn't particularly like to have a bath, which is kind of strange for a Labrador. But it's interesting the way people get cats, and like my daughter's cat is a rescue cat, and our cat is a rescue cat. I think people rescue cats more than they do dogs. I'm not opposed to rescuing a dog or a puppy. Uh, but we specifically wanted a Labrador Retriever and we wanted a puppy because we wanted it to grow up with my granddaughter. And so we looked for probably about a year and oh, a little miniature bulldog. Nicole, I bet that is a precious cute little thing. So anyway, my husband decided, he was just gonna buy one. Oh, look, I'm losing my hair. Um, so he did. He bought one, and that's our old Maxer Doodle. And my grandbaby named him. Uh, she had some humdinger names. There was Sparkle, and just Rainbow, and it's like, oh, good Lord. So when she said Max, we jumped on it. It was like, yes, that's the name. We're going with Max. Um, See, that's the way my son found Freya, and my daughter found her cat. And her cat, now I love her cat. Now Freya's sweet, and Freya's been getting in the bathtub a lot. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but um, my daughters, we've kind of figured out that it's a ragdoll. It's the breed of the cat that my daughter's cat is. And it's not a very big cat, but it's a very fluffy cat. The sweetest thing you ever seen in your life. Just precious, precious cat. And then I had a cat that was 18 years old, and that Miss Cotton was my baby, and she flew on an airplane. And when my son was a baby, her favorite thing was to sit in his car seat. And when we drove from Dover, Delaware here, and he was in a little car seat because he was just a baby, uh, that cat kept getting in there and sitting on him because she liked to get in that car seat. Cats are just funny like that. They just do whatever they want to do. And you can tell them no and they just look at you like you've lost your mind. They gonna do what they gonna do. But I love cats. I love cat. I like most animals. I don't like monkeys. I've got some monkey stories. I don't like monkeys. Oh, you had to bottle feed it? Oh. Do you just have the one cat, Ohio? Yeah, it's funny, Daniel, how certain dogs, um, just kind of, and cats, animals, work their way into your heart. I've never had to feed one. Oh, okay, that's how you keep them warm. Well, um, I saw some kind of something. I don't know where it was, and they had built these little. They took uh like storage containers and they put holes in them and they put some kind of insulation in it and anyway they put all this stuff for a cat to help, like say in Chicago or wherever, so these cats could go into them and not freeze to death in the winter. And I was like, that's a nice thing to do. People should have their animals spayed or neutered. If they're not gonna, they really should. Oh, I've never, yeah, I've never had to bottle feed any of my critters, which I guess is kind of good. Well, that's not true. We had to bottle feed a bunny rabbit. And it did make it, but that was a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah, thank God it made it cuz that would have destroyed my daughter. But it was a sweet little bunny rabbit. She named him Peter. Isn't that clever? Um, I just saw Sarah McLachlan was on the Kelly Clarkson show, and she does that song for all the animals for the ASPCA. It just makes you squall every time you hear it. I'm checking my chat. Oh yeah, no, I can see where yeah, some cats are aggressive towards birds, that's for sure. Oh, you were 9 years old when you got him? Oh, so you kind of grew up together. That's sweet. Yes, you must do a short with your kittens or kitties. Now I'm sure they're older, but uh, animals do pretty good on the YouTube. Just saying. Look how popular Reba is. Um, I think dogs are more popular than cats, but that's the one. That's the song. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Daniel, that's it. Anyway, she was on that show, and they had these people on there who run this like rescue thing, but it's not just a rescue for animals. They try to pair it with people who need help, and so they help the person and they help the animal to get together and help both. Yeah, it was kind of clever. I thought it was rather clever. It was nice. I think sometimes people need something to need them or to take care of to make them feel like they have a purpose. I know that happens with old people. Sometimes when they get to a certain age, like in a nursing home or situation, Daniel can speak to this as well. That they still need purpose. We all need purpose in life. We all need to be able to have a reason to have to get up in the morning. We need a purpose. We can't just aimlessly exist. We need to be able to find joy and a purpose and contribute to society and ourselves. There, that's the lecture for tonight. Um, let's see, what else do I have going on? I got the flyer for our Publix, which is a grocery store. The hamburger meat was $7.99. $7.99 for hamburger meat. I, I was appalled. And we don't have a lot of grocery stores here. We've got the Publix and we've got Walmart, and that's it. We got a couple of butcher shops, but they're high-end butcher shops. They cater to them rich people that live over on the beach. Um, that are like, when I say the rich people, I mean the rich people. Yeah, I mean like ultra rich people, like big time. Uh, and we can't afford that kind of stuff. Well, I'm not gonna say we couldn't afford it, but we couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? Water, just plain old water. If I drink any, I can't. I don't drink. I'm not drinking caffeine right now. Which, yeah, Ohio, that means no coffee. Well, Ohio, we've talked about that at our house too about not getting another dog. And after Max, we're not gonna get another dog. Um, and we're not gonna get a cat or nothing. No animals. And we won't get any more chickens. Um, see, Laura, I knew you wouldn't understand. Um, because my husband and I, when he retires, I'm older than he is. I'm a cougar. um, but when he retires, um, we do want to do some traveling. I would like to maybe go out west, and uh, I would like to go see the Northeast. I've always thought it would be lovely to go to Maine, Cape Cod, those kind of places. Um, and we've been to Chicago. I've never been to Boston, but he has. Um, of course, he wants to go to some kind of sporting event at all these different places. That doesn't particularly interest me. I like the historical stuff. Um, but so we want to travel, basically. Hey Tiny, how you doing? So you can't. You just can't when you have pets at home. Uh, Lori, I would be happy to. We, you have to have a backup system for the pets, and the truth of the matter is, Mama can't always be depended on to be the person to stay here and take care of Max. And my son sometimes works remotely, and sometimes he works on site and distances. So it's like, okay, well, the dog can't stay in the house for 12 hours, you know. Um, hello, God's shield. So I think that it would not be fair for us to get another animal and want to travel and go places and do stuff unless he decides that we need to get one of those motorhomes and do it that way. And I don't think he's going to do that. He likes to fly. He does not like to drive. The 22 hours it takes us to get to the place in Ohio, it wears him out. Now, Ohio, don't say that. Now, take care of yourself. That's what you got to do. You just got to take care of yourself. I have longevity in my family. My husband does not, and I have discussed this with him, um, because my people, my one grandmother was 101, and the other one was 98, and mom was 90 or 86. Now my father passed away fairly young. He was 64 when he passed away. But my husband's people all were gone before they were 70. So now, stink bug, we're gonna work on that. You're gonna work on being the healthiest best you can be. You know, some families do that, Ohio, and I don't know the explanation for it. Genetic, I guess. Just like the longevity thing. But I understand not wanting to leave a pet. And that's one of the things, because I had thought about adoption of a child at one point, and um, it would not be fair to even. It just wouldn't be fair. Okay, I can do that. Um, I'll do it when I get off here, stink bug. The Now, does your wife? I know this is, if you don't want to answer it, it's fine. Does your wife, Ohio, have a longevity in her family? Well, stink bug, my daughter does not want to reproduce, so and that's perfectly fine. If my sister and her husband, they did not want to have children, and that was fine too. Barbara, you're surprised you made it to 67. But 67 doesn't seem as old as it used to. I'm 62, and I'll be 63 this year, and it just doesn't seem as old. Yes, I know, I told you. So my daughter, she does she thinks that she's not going. She doesn't think she got the longevity gene, but I think she probably did. Oh mercy, Ohio, we're gonna have to work on. We're gonna have to pray about y'all. The Welcome back, V. Um, did you get your children to bed? We get our grandbaby tomorrow. I'm so excited. Well, if you're not ready to do it, then don't do it. Unless you're being pressured by other people like siblings or mother. But you don't have to do things that you don't really want to. Well, see, it might have skipped a generation, Ohio. You just never know. The truth of the matter is, none of us ever know how much time we have for planet Earth. Um, that's just that's just a given. But you don't look old enough to have children that old. Um, yeah, my kids, Lord, I think they started putting themselves on their own schedules by the time they were 13 or 14. I couldn't stay up and police them all the time. I mean, I did some, but you know, you just be a parent. That's all you can do. You can just do the best you can. And that's in any situation. Whether you're being a parent, a caregiver, a friend, whatever, you can just do the best you can do in whatever situation you're in. And when you apply pressure to yourself and you stress yourself out, it's not healthy. It's just not healthy. But Tiny, if you're not ready, you well, I don't know your situation, but and I don't know if this would help you at all, but you can always try to pray about it. Um, and sometimes it's nice to release stuff, release things that you have no control over. Um, I've been talking with a friend of mine, and she's huge on control, and so I've been talking about the fact that some things you just have to open your hands and say, okay, fly away. It's out of my control. You do the best you can under the situation. That's all we can do. So, does anybody have anything exciting going on this week? It's kind of one of those weeks where it's like you're still kind of recovering from the holidays, but you're back into your regular routine and you're just looking forward to what the year's going to hold, you know, looking forward to new experiences and new quests and new goals. Um, but for me, it's kind of a slow roll. I don't jump right in. I do a slow roll into anything that I'm going to do, um, because when I jump 2 feet flat into something, I tend to get myself in trouble. So I have learned to go really slow. Yeah, uh, they go back to school here tomorrow. So I don't know why they got so long off. They had like 3 weeks off. Oh, that'll be fun, Daniel. That'll be fun to see you unwrap that big old fish. Oh, you're going to be even further into the woods. That's nice, Tiny. That's quite all right, CL. You don't have to worry about a thing. They have, I think it's in March. They have 1 week off in March. Um, in fact, that we were kind of sort of thinking maybe we'll go to Ohio, but it'll still be so cold, and my husband does not like the cold. So they get out, I want to say the last week of May is the last week of school. So we'll see. It's hard to keep up with everybody's schedules. That's why I've got a big old calendar. The bead painting? I have never heard of that. I bought at Michael's because they was having a Christmas, 80% off thing. Oh, that's very generous of you, Tiny, to allow your mother to have the home. Oh, Joy, I got to have a calendar. I got to have a calendar, or I will be lost. Because I don't even know what days who's got what. Mm-mm. Yes, she does get Martin Luther King Day off. They get a lot of Mondays off. See, my grandbaby got this giant, I mean, it's huge art kit for Christmas. And it's got that real heavy, nice, wonderful paper to do watercolors on. So we're going to do some watercolor painting. I, if I had the opportunity, I could easily stay in a very isolated place and it would not bother me in the least. Um, Now my husband, it'd drive him nuts. He'd have to go to town every day, even if it was 40 miles. Now, Tiny, do you have critters? The Nicole, do y'all go to town much? We yeah, he would have to go to town every day. Not me. But Daniel, I bet you are good at it. I think that Daniel, you would probably be good at anything you put your mind to. I am not particularly an artist, like a freehand creative artist like that. Um, Not like CL does, but I can do like I can paint something that's already, kind of like paint by numbers. Okay, so you have 3 working dogs. What kind of dogs are your working dogs? Nicole has working dogs as well. Max is not a working dog. Reba is not a working dog. I think that okay, Mercy. Did y'all see that? Mercy. Um, where was I? Oh, being creative. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. You have a working cat. My cat don't even work. Well, she is actually. She's a pretty good little mouser. Well, we don't have mice, but we do sometimes get lizards in the house, and she'll catch those lizards. They're the little lizards. Man, more like about that big. Not the big lizards, not the iguana ones. They don't get in the house. No, mm-mm. I would not be in the house if they were in the house. No, no. Now, my son did have a bearded dragon, and he had it in a big old aquarium thing. I don't know what you'd call it. But that is no longer with us. Thank the Lord. But I see that I have kept y'all on here quite some time, haven't I? Okay, so they're all shepherds. We have spiders. We've 2 bad kind of spiders down here. Hey, roll call, how you doing, honey? How are things shaping up for you? Okay, she has the little gecko, Nicole. Well, I have some cookies in the dining room. Well, at least it was dead, Ohio. Um, like I say, as far as I know, we don't have any mice. Um, in fact, the camper, I'm constantly. Yes, we do have those big black and yellow banana spiders. Uh, the camper, I'm always having my husband go out there and check the camper because I don't want to get any in the camper. And I know my sister and my neighbor have both had some issues with them occasionally. But now we've got this bobcat that's been hanging around because it's sniffing around the chickens. Can't get to the chickens. Um, but I think that bobcat is keeping the rodent population down. You mean you want those cookies that are the oh, they're the chocolate with the oatmeal? Is that what you mean by the no bake cookies, Daniel? I've got oh oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, CL. I know what you're talking about. We have to keep traps and stuff set at all of our places, because we have a place in North Florida and then Ohio and then here. And there are rat traps everywhere. Yes, because nobody wants micey rats and creepy crawlies. No, not at all. So, well, I suppose I've kept y'all on here long enough. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming on here. And, I try to catch y'all's lives and watch your videos. And I appreciate y'all doing the same because I know you do. Oh, Joy, no, 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 no. I do not want rats as big as dogs. No, thank you. Okay, yes, I have made those before, Daniel. They are good. My friend Amy loved those. Um, but thank y'all. I did hit 1,000. I hit it a week or so ago, and then it went back down, and then I hit it again. So we'll see if it sticks this time. And so I'm working on some watch hours. Um, and just it's organic. It'll do what it's going to do. That's all I care about. I have to be me. I have to do it my way, and that's just the plain and simple of it. Um, but I thank you, Roll Call. I appreciate that. Nicole, I will check that email. And Stinkbug, I will text you. And thank you, CL. I appreciate that. And y'all, be kind to each other, be kind to others, and come back next Tuesday. Now, I may pop on some other time, but I'll be here next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. It's our date night. So, good night. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye.